Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. It's a new year, and there's a new judge on the bench. We're no longer hanging with Judge Cooper. He's retired and probably hating it.
This is awful.
But let me know what you think of Judge Hesselink. And then, the dynamic duo, they're reunited, and it's good. I've got almost the full docket. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
All right, I see that Mr. Harshman and Mr. Brown are back from the breakout session. Mr. Brown, have you accomplished anything?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe we have. Just for a little bit of history here, it appears that this case, the information I had, he did plead guilty back in July of this last year, 2024, and was sentenced to fines and costs only. Given the information that I have, and after speaking with Mr. Harshman, I don't believe an attorney is going to be necessary. I would believe he would just plead to the show cause and failure to pay.
Mr. Harshman, is that what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor. And if I could just, I know you've given me plenty of time, but if I could just get a little more time, I can work and I'll pay it. I was so distracted with everything with my life right now. I know it's no excuse, but being in jail, I can't pay anything. I don't know. I got my family, my kids, and my I got everything.
Mr. Harshman, we can maybe go through that at a sentencing phase, but right now I believe we're just at, did you do it or not?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
I will. No, that's quite all right, sir. And I will give you an opportunity to explain yourself at the sentencing. But let me make sure we've got the what's called the adjudication or the trial or the guilty side of the things done first. So the agreement your intention, as I understand it, is that you're going to admit responsibility, plead guilty to this failure to pay fines and costs of $687.60. Is that correct, sir?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything or threatened you in any way to get you to do that?
No, sir.
Is this done of your own free choice and free will?
Yes, sir.
And this is done after consultation with Mr. Brown as your attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any more questions for Mr. Brown, or do you need any more advice from Mr. Brown?
No, sir.
All right. Then as to the charge of failing to pay $687.60 as previously required in your case, how do you wish to plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. I will accept. Is it true then that you failed to pay $687.60 as required by your probation and the court order?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll accept your plea. Mr. Brown, anything that we need to do in addition to what's been done so far?
Not as far as the plea goes, Your Honor.
Mr. Fortier, any issues or questions about the plea?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I will accept it and find that it was knowing, understanding, and voluntarily done. Let me just make a note on the file. It's just failed to pay. All right, Mr. Harshman, here's the problem. When I look back over the record of this case, it appears to me that you failed to appear on a number of occasions, and that's been the hardest thing, is getting a hold of you. I agree with you. I don't want you to spend time in jail not paying and spending time in jail, but we can't seem to get you to come to court when you're supposed to come to court and do things. I'm going back into March of 2022. You failed to appear for the original arraignment. April, you failed to appear on the order to show cause. And then in May of 24, you failed to appear for a jury status conference. After the adjudication or after the trial, the plea in July of 2024, you then failed to appear on a show cause in October. And then you also failed to appear on a show cause after we continued the first show cause in November of 24. And that brings us up to date to here. So there's been 4 or 5 actions by the court to get you to be here. And
Sir,
now we've got
you. I wasn't trying to hide from anybody. I live in Gaylord. I wasn't it's just, I don't know. If you've got my attention, sir. I promise you, you've got my attention. If you could give me just one more chance.
Well, what can we do right now? How much money can you come up with right now? There's $687.60 is owed. So tell me what you can do today.
Sir, I honestly, I haven't been able to get a hold of anybody since I've been in here. So, I don't know. I know once I get out, you give me a week, sir, and I'll have it all paid off. I can go to work today, tomorrow, and I can have it paid. I'm sorry, sir. I thought it was a misdemeanor. I didn't think I was going to go to jail for it. I thought, it was just I thought Michigan was a non-payer state. Sir, you have my attention. I promise you, I'm going to get this taken care of as soon as possible. I didn't realize it was this serious.
What you're telling me is you blew us off on purpose, right?
No, I didn't.
Because you didn't think you're going to get in trouble.
I didn't think it was this serious, I didn't realize that I'll go to jail for it,
Yeah.
But I mean, you have my attention now, sir. I promise you. You give me just a minimal amount of time, and I'll get it taken care of. Like all of it. Like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, are you telling me you don't have any money in the bank that you can call somebody and say, bring me $200, bring me $300, bring me $400? You don't have any
I
money.
mean, maybe 100. I don't have any money in the bank, but I could probably get like $100 up here. I mean, I live paycheck to paycheck, sir. I mean, it's really
I get that. I understand. But I also understand that we've done bench warrants in the past for you, and you still don't show up. And I don't want to have to go through that process again.
I mean, I will not let that happen again. I promise you have my attention. This is
so. What's the best you can do to get out of jail today?
Honestly, sir, I'd have to make a call. I could do $100. I mean,
you don't know anybody that can loan you $200?
I don't, sir. I don't talk to anybody no more. I stay to myself. I live with my mom, and I don't mess with anybody. I mean, I do my kids' stuff. You know, I pay for their sports. I pay child support. I pay all that stuff. I mean, and like,
where do you work?
I'm self-employed, and I work for like J&J Roofing and stuff, and like I'm basically self-employed though. I got people that I go to work for whenever I need money. Like that's why like I said, you know, I can get out if I got out, you know, today or tomorrow. I can go to work and, you know, make money, and like it's just I don't know, sir. I mean, I apologize. I'm really sorry. I mean, you got my attention now. That's all I can say. I mean,
well, it's easy to get your attention when you're standing in jail, but I want to have your attention when you're not in jail. I want you to be making payment like you're supposed to 5 months ago.
Right. I don't want to come back. I can't come back like this. Like you're like no disrespect, but your jail sucks.
All right,
like,
I'm going to give you
one more chance.
I'm going to give you $100 cash bond, and we're going to set this for a new hearing in 30 days. If you pay it off, that is the rest of the $687.60, so it'll be $587.60. If you pay it off before the next court hearing, you don't have to show up for the next court hearing. You are going to have to post $100 to get out today, so you're going to have to make some phone calls and have somebody bring some cash to the jail to pay that, and then we'll apply that at the end to the amount that you pay. You understand what's being required of you?
Yes, sir, I do.
So should be, once you can post the bond, we'll get the paperwork over to the jail today as quickly as we can. And then once you post $100, you'll be free to go today. But don't try my patience, because there's not going to be much of it left if you haven't paid anything in 30 days. You understand what I'm saying to you?
I do. Yes, sir, I do.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brown. I appreciate your assistance.
You're turning you are turning over a new leaf in the new year. I admire that about you.
Step on with it.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Nope, that's your copy. State your name.
Lisa Alexander.
Ms. Alexander, you're before the court on a failure to appear for a possession of paraphernalia charge. You're also before the court on a violation of probation for child neglect. You understand the charges?
Yes.
Based on your applications, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. So you have an attorney now. On the failure to appear for the pretrial, your bond has been set at $7,500. Your court date is January the 14th at 9 o'clock. Judge Clark, in his infinite wisdom and glorious hair, has ordered you held without bond. Your court date is going to be January the 22nd at 9 o'clock. It is glorious. Have you seen it lately? He's growing it back out.
Okay, so
I'm a fan. You're held without bond on the yes, ma'am. He is growing it back out.
Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign next.
Throw hair, I would.
Right here on the T. Step on the X.
Sure. That's all it is. You're yellow.
Sign right there.
It is. It's, I mean,
State your name, ma'am.
Chancey Crowell.
Ms. Crowell, you're fully court charged driving under the influence. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
yes, sir.
All right, ma'am. Based on your application, you make too much money to qualify for a public defender. The law recognizes your financial situation may change. If it does, you can reapply later. Otherwise, you have to hire your own attorney or represent yourself. You have options.
You understand those options?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Deputy, come with us.
No history.
I'm going to release you on what's called pretrial release. Pretrial release office after court tomorrow. Your court date is January the 3rd at 8:30. After you finish, then you need to go to the pretrial release office, okay?
Yes, sir.
Your only condition of pretrial release is that you not violate the law, check in with pretrial release, and not possess or consume alcohol while you're on pretrial release. Any questions?
I ain't drinking no more.
Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign.
Yeah.
Red X, ma'am. State your name.
Catherine, that's her mother.
Ma'am, you're before the court on 2 pretrial release violations, one for a driving license suspended revoked, one for a possession of paraphernalia. You understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am, your bond's been set at 5,000 on each. Your court date's going to be January the 14th at 9 o'clock. Good luck, ma'am.
Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Red X, ma'am. State your name.
Ms. Smith, your full court charges burglary of a dwelling or structure while armed and grand theft. You understand those charges?
You understand what you're charged with?
Petty theft. Thank goodness. Petty theft.
Shit, I'm sorry. You're fine.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yeah.
Based on your application, finds you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
He gave you a public defender.
Jeff, criminal history?
They have her on bond out of Okaloosa for ag assault and battery.
Bond set at 50,000 on the armed burglary, 5,000 on the theft. No contact with the alleged victim. Court date's going to be February the 13th at 9 o'clock.
That's the road. Go over there behind. Step to your right to the T. Your bond is 55,000. You go to court February 13th. Step in on the X. State your name.
Hannah Morgan.
Ms. Morgan, before the court charges child abuse, domestic violence battery, resisting officer without violence, and disorderly intoxication. You understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Deputy,
On bond for criminal mischief, resisting, and a battery on a person over 65.
Yeah,
This register
with my mother.
got a court date? I mean, a case number?
24-2694 CF.
Mom's trying to get him to drop it.
Wait and talk to your public defender about the case, please.
Ooh, it's going to be hard to get used to writing the new dates. Oh my gosh. All right, ma'am. On the child abuse bonds, 15,000. The domestic violence battery is 5,000. Resisting officer without violence is 2,500. Disorderly intoxication is 1,000. No alcohol while you're on release. Court date's going to be February the 13th at 9 o'clock, and I'm revoking release in 24-2694. Good luck, ma'am.
Step to your right to the T. When the light comes on, sign. Next. Face the TV and state your name, sir.
William Jones.
Mr. Jones, before the court charged 2 counts of battery. You understand the charges?
Sir?
Do you understand the 2 charges?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right. Based on your application, you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. So you have an attorney now. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Deputy, criminal history?
Just a FTA on a misdemeanor back in 22, and that's it. Well, he had a reckless last year.
Bonds 2,500 on each. Court date's going to be January the 3rd at 8:30. No contact directly, indirectly, or through a third party with alleged victims.
Step T, wait. Step on the T. When the green light comes on, sign. State your name, face the TV. State your name, sir.
Michael Head.
Mr. Head, before the court, try to drive it under the influence. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
You've been advised of your rights today?
Oh, yes, sir.
You got a copy of paperwork in your right hand?
No, have you got a copy of the paperwork? He's
Down in your
asking if
left
you got copies.
I do.
Okay,
I had sinus problems. I can't hear real good. I'm sorry.
you're fine.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I'm sorry.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender. So you have an attorney now. Deputy, criminal history.
He just has 3 old DUIs in Georgia, the last one being in 10, and that's it.
Bond said 10,000, no alcohol. Court date's going to be tomorrow, January 3rd at 8:30. Good luck, sir.
Sure. Can I use my own, get my own attorney?
What's that?
Can I?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Instead
Yeah,
of
you
using,
can always hire an attorney.
can I set a different date? I won't have time to, I'm from Atlanta.
No, you don't. It's not Burger King. You get charged down here. You do our court dates.
I mean, I didn't know if I could set a different date to.
No.
No, just show up and then, what is they plead not guilty and then go get you an attorney
What if they not guilty?
when you go to court tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Sign where that green light is. Next. Red X, sir. State your name.
Sonny Perez.
Mr. Perez, before the court, driving under influence and refusal. You understand the charges?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
I have, sir.
Based on your application. You make too much money to qualify for a public defender, but the law recognizes your financial situation may change, in which case you can reapply later. You also have the option of hiring your own attorney or represent yourself. Deputy, criminal history.
Just a DUI in 15, 21, and 22.
A DUI in 15, 21, and 22?
Yes, sir.
So when you say just, you mean this is his fourth?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Bond said, no. I find that there is no reasonable bond that's going to assure the public's welfare, and I'm going to hold you without bond on both charges. Court date is January the 3rd at 8:30.
That's in the morning. Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Next. Red X. State your name.
Mr. Murphy, full court charge disorderly intoxication. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Deputy, criminal history.
Locally, there's a domestic last year, Georgia, 20 DUI and controlled substance. That's it.
Bond said at 5,000. No alcohol. Court date is tomorrow, January 3rd at 8:30.
Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Next. Red X, sir. State your name.
Nicholas Webb.
Mr. Webb, before the court charge driving under the influence, you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
I understand you have copies of paperwork and advise of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right, based on your application, you make too much money to qualify for a public defender, but the law recognizes your financial situation may change, in which case you can reapply later. You also have the option of hiring your own attorney or represent yourself. Any question about these options?
No, sir.
Deputy, criminal history, Mr. Webb?
22 BUIs, 1 DUI, VOP, 19 less than 20 para VOP, 18 resisting controlled substance, paraphernalia, criminal mischief. It goes back to 16 on juvenile.
Held without bond, no alcohol. Well, never mind. Not even the hooch that you can do in jail. Court date's tomorrow, January 3rd at 8:30.
He can hear you.
Oh,
Help without bond?
But that's
Held
fine.
without bond. You're an idiot. You just keep doing it, and you blew a 1-8.
Step on the
Any
T.
other questions?
When
Any other
when
questions?
the green light,
All right, come on. Good.
red X, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'm the judge.
Step on the
Congratulations.
X. Face the TV, state your name.
Blake Jordan.
Mr. George, you're for the court charge of domestic violence battery and simple battery, although it's never simple. I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true? And the one not here, you should drive drunk because they are going to be looking for you. But you can't help yourself. Based on your application, if I find that you do qualify, I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Yeah, criminal history?
19 resisting, leaving the scene reckless, DWLSR. Georgia 17 controlled substance, VOP, and a battery in 16. That's it.
Strong Georgia contingent here this weekend, or this week. Strange. All right, on the domestic violence battery, bond's 5,000. The simple battery is 2,500. No contact with either of the victims. Court date's going to be January 3rd at 8:30. Good luck, sir.
Tomorrow. Yeah. Step on the T. That's what you're about to sign for. When that green light comes on, sign. Next, it's amateur night.
Oh, my
Red
goodness.
X. Face the
Got a
TV.
one.
Yeah. State your name.
Leaf Thorn.
You ever go by your middle name? Because I would.
No, I ought to, but my first one's too easy to remember.
Leaf. Amadeus. You gotta, I mean, you gotta lean into that one a little bit.
Oh, well then.
All right. Mr. Thorne, you're for the court, charged of driving under the influence and leaving the scene of an accident. You understand those charges?
What's that?
You understand the charges?
Oh, yes, I do.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes.
Based on your application, you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No.
Mr. Thorne, you're the leader in the clubhouse, brother. A 338. Thought that was just a caliber of rifle, but I was wrong. All right, man. Woo. Wow. Deputy, criminal history?
Petty theft and FTA out of Arkansas, 18 and 19. That's it.
All right. Mr. Thorne, on the driving under the influence bond is 5,000. On the leading to an accident, 2,500. Court date's going to be tomorrow, January 3rd at 8:30. Good luck, sir.
Okay.
Step to your right to the T. When the, yes, sir. When the green light comes on, sign next.
I don't know how you lead.
Red X, sir. State your name.
Johnson Nichols.
Mr. Nichols, you're for the court charge of petty theft. You understand that charge, sir?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork, advised of your rights. Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Question about that?
No, sir.
All right, man. Set your bond at 2,500. Your court date's going to be tomorrow, January 3rd at 8:30. Good luck, sir.
Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign next. Next, Red X, sir. State your name.
And bring raise back.
Mr. Raisback, before the court charge resisting officer without a violation of probation for what was originally felony battery. You understand the charges?
Sir.
You do qualify for service to the public defender's office. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Your bond is 1,500 for the resisting. Your court date is tomorrow, January 3rd at 8:30. On the BOP, Judge Register is where you held without bond. Your court date is going to be February the 12th at 9 o'clock. Good luck, sir.
Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign next. Red X. State your name.
Alex Manbeavers.
Mr. Manbeavers, you're for the court on a driving under the influence and a driving license suspended revoked. You understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork, advised of your rights. Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you, so you have an attorney now. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Florida DUI 2324. He's on probation with you. He has some juvenile charges in 21 and a breach of peace in 23. Terry, is that you over there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okie dokie.
We got a case number on his VOP.
24-36-34 CT.
All right, the DUI bond is 15,000. The WLSR is 5,000. Doesn't really matter. The court date's going to be tomorrow, January 3rd at 8:30, but I'm signing a warrant for violation of probation case 24-36-34.
The total bond is 20, but he held you without bond on the VOP. You go to court in the morning. Can't get out. Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Next. You won't be able to because you still have to go to your VOP court date first. The new DUI. Go ahead and sign with the light. State your name, sir.
Chase Manning.
Mr. Manning, you fully court charged domestic violence battery and a violation of probation on what was originally possession of GHB and possession of meth. You understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
All right, I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Based on your application, you don't want a public defender. You're gonna hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I was very calling. Say that I can line up any exits here, but I was there and the lady tried to attack me. And I'm like, we're trying to be nice and we're just like, I called her mom. I said, we'll give her money. We'll have her go. If I can get that she's trying to call the cops, he did not. I swear to God.
Oh, that's okay. That's a different day, different matter. Okay, 5,000 on domestic violence battery. Court date's going to be January 3rd at 8:30. No contact with alleged victim. Held without bond on the VOP. Court date is February the 5th at 9 o'clock. Good luck, sir.
Step to your right to the T. When the light comes on, sign. Next. Red X, sir. Here you go. State your name.
Richard Adams.
Mr. Adams, full court charge domestic violence battery. You understand that charge?
Yep, and I'm pleading not guilty, so.
That matter. Today's not the day for hearing. Today's just a bond day.
Oh, he's talking to somebody else.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Adams, full court domestic violence battery. You understand the charge?
Yes, sir.
February 5th, I think. All right, Mr. Adams, I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, you qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Yep, Ministry.
Got him on probation with Stevenson for a felony bet. 23-34-61 CF.
All right, sir. On the domestic violence battery, bond set at 5,000. No contact with the alleged victim. Court date's January the 3rd at 8:30. And I signed a warrant for violation of probation case 23-34-61.
When's that court date again?
You'll come tomorrow for that one. Step on the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Next. Red X, sir. Here you go. State your name.
Michael Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, report on possession of methamphetamine, possession of paraphernalia, resisting officer without violence, and a violation of protection, injunction against protection. You understand those charges, sir?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
He gave you a public defender.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Johnson.
They actually have him on probation out of Washington County, and there is a hold in place on him.
All right. Mr. Johnson, you understand that even if you're under cognizance, they won't let you out until today, right?
I can't even hear you, sir.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. We'll wait till they clear out some. All right, Mr. Johnson, on the meth bond set at 5,000, the paraphernalia is 1,000, the resisting 100, and the violation of injunction is 5,000. Court date of the felonies will be January the 30th at 9 o'clock. On the misdemeanor is January the 3rd at 8:30. No contact with the victim allegedly directly, indirectly, or through a third party. Obviously, there's no point in you making bond because they're just going to hold you for that other warrant, okay?
Yes, sir.
Let's just make sure that you get credit for the time you spend in our jail on our charges. Any questions?
So yes, sir, when my time's done here, we get things done here, I'll be sent to Chipley, or will they try to hold that while I'm here?
When you finish here, you go to Chip.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's all I need.
All right, step on the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Red X, state your name.
Thanks, Holloway.
Mr. Holloway, you're for the court charge of possession of meth, possession of paraphernalia, and disorderly intoxication. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
I think you can give me copies of paperwork and advise of your rights. Is that true?
Got a copy of your paperwork,
Yes, sir.
as of your rights.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. So you have an attorney now. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Death, your criminal history?
24 VOP, battery second, and a domestic battery, 23 battery second, resisting, 19 battery. It goes back to the 90s locally, and he has an open summons with you.
Well, we'll get that served. Bond set at 5,000 on the meth, 1,000 on the paraphernalia, 1,500 on disorderly intoxication. Court date's going to be February the 13th at 9 o'clock at random UAs. Good luck, sir.
Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Red X, sir. State your name.
Dennis Petty.
Just for the court on a driving under the influence, possession of amphetamine, driving license been revoked as a third or subsequent violation, DUI with damage to property and leaving the scene of an accident. You understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Based on your application, I find you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that?
No, sir.
Jeff, your criminal history, Mr. Biddy.
North Carolina DUI at 15, Tennessee a DUI domestic in 19, and that's it.
Bond set at 10,000 the DUI. 10,000 possession of amphetamine. 5,000 the felony DWL assault. 10,000 DL with damage. 5,000 insane. Court date's going to be February the 17th at 9 o'clock with random UAs.
It broke up on the end, sir.
Random UAs.
Thank you. Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Next. State your name.
So you're for the court charge of throwing or sending missile into a vehicle or building and criminal mischief. Do you understand the charges?
So I understand the charges. I turned myself as soon as I found out what was going on.
What?
I turned myself in as soon as I found out what was going on, sir.
Good. I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Got a copy of your paperwork?
Yes, sir.
Were you advised of your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You've indicated, well, based on your application, you make too much money to qualify for a public defender, but the law recognizes your financial situation may change, in which case you can reapply later. You also have the option of reapplying. You can hire your own attorney or represent yourself. Any question about these options?
No, sir.
Jeff, your criminal history?
They have him on bond out of Okaloosa for dealing and stolen. Other than that, there's a possession of a weapon or by a felon in 18, VOP 22, carrying and conceal 18, FTA 13, couple of burglaries and grand thefts.
Bond set at 15,000 on the deadly missile, 5,000 on the criminal mischief. No contact with the alleged victim. Court date's going to be January the 30th at 9 o'clock.
Step to your right to the T. When the green light comes on, sign. Alexa, state your name.
Aaron Radcliffe. Yeah,
Mr. Radcliffe.
would I be able to talk to my public defender? Is that okay?
Not today.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I just want them to know I never would have done bad at all. I never would have done anything with the guy.
Wait and talk to your public defender about all that, okay?
Yes.
Hey, sir, you're fully court charged with battery on a firefighter, EMT, or other first responder and
Yeah,
disorderly
I never
intoxication.
would've
You
done
seen those
that.
charges?
Yeah. Oh, is it a felony? I never would have done it, man. If y'all can drop the charge, man, that'd be great. And then I was just sleeping at a restaurant, man. I mean, they were nice to me.
Stop talking.
It is a felony. Based on your
It is a
application, you do qualify for a public defender, so you're going to get a public defender.
Would I be able to get it dropped to a misdemeanor maybe? Because I never would have done anything bad. If I could get my charges dropped, that'd be awesome.
Honestly, yeah,
talking.
but stop talking about your case.
Well, it's nothing bad. No, it's
Listen to him.
No, yeah, definitely. I just want him to know I'm a nice. I never would have heard a police
Then-
officer.
Hey, Aaron,
You're a nice guy. Let them finish.
Yes, sir.
chill.
It's cool, man. I just want you to know I'm a nice person. I never would have done bad, but I was just drunk. That's all.
All right, bro. Deputy, criminal history?
Kansas, Missouri, Colorado, Kentucky.
Okay, all right. All right, man. On the battery on the law enforcement officer or first responder, bond set at 5,000. The disorderly intoxication is 1,000. Your court date's going to be February 13th at 9 o'clock.
Are you serious,
Step right
man?
here. No.
Dead serious.
Step up.
Darn, man.
Here, here.
You can cut me a break, bud. I don't have nowhere to live.
Matter of fact, let's mean you go ahead and step out. No, I'm saving you. I'm saving you.
Well, man.
Next, Red X, state your name.
Mr. Lee, before the court
How are
charged
you?
grand theft, possession less than 20 grams of marijuana and paraphernalia. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
I understand you took copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Sir, I understand I showed the officer on scene my medical marijuana card and on body cam. I don't see why he charged me. I showed him on the scene my medical marijuana card.
Now, you know, maybe you don't know, just because you have a medical marijuana card doesn't mean you can smoke it anywhere you want to.
I wasn't smoking it, so there wasn't
You
even.
can't have it. Listen, you can't have it outside the container from the dispensary.
It wasn't outside the container, sir.
It's got to be inside the dispensary container.
It
It's got to
was.
be, listen, it's got to be to and from the dispensary to your house. Okay?
I was going home from my friend's house.
Okay?
So I had it on me. I had it on me.
Not in a
when I
dump
go-
container containing gray plastic bag within.
That wasn't mine. He didn't even ask whose that was. My weed was in my container. He found more
Okay.
weed
All right.
in a Rolex.
What about grand theft? You gonna argue about that one too?
Yes, sir. That is actually that is a word of mouth. It says without permission, I transferred money to an account.
Excellent.
How can I transfer money to somebody's account without permission? You have to have 4-digit code.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. It says transfer money from the victim's account to his without permission. How do I do that without? You have to have codes nowadays. Have 4-digit codes. Like Cash App got the 4-digit pin to send money. So I had to have her do that without permission.
criminal history?
Sir?
I got him on probation with Dyer. 2 case numbers.
Hold on. Case numbers, ma'am?
They're both 24. 5455 MM and 5371 CT. That's a DWLSR and a possession of marijuana.
With a weed card.
When
So
the
you already
judge
knew
appoints
all
me to
this.
represent you, you need to stop talking about your case and wait, talk to your public defender about it, okay?
He doesn't get a public defender because he makes $70,000 a year, Floyd.
Oh, sorry.
I don't have a job. I don't even have a job.
Why did you fill out the paperwork saying you had an income?
I didn't, sir. I said that's what I made. I made that within the last year and a half, but okay, I just gave me a quote within the last month. It's the same thing. Ain't nothing changed last month to this month. I just got arrested last month.
Well, last month, apparently you didn't tell them you made $70,000 a year because we wouldn't have appointed you.
I don't make $7,000 a year. I don't even have a job.
I'll just give you
Then you
another
need to
form.
reapply.
I'll give you another one.
Bond said 25,000 the grand theft, 5,000 the marijuana, 1,000 the paraphernalia. Court date's going to be January the 30th on the felony at 9 o'clock, January the 3rd at 8:30 on the misdemeanor. And I'm signing a warrant for violations of probation 245455 and 245371. Good luck, sir.